We're back to this baits book. You didn't see my last video, my last nymph video. I'll link it at the top. I tied this nymph right here. And now we're going to tie this one above it. It's a lot bigger. It's a little bit different of a style. I mean, it's a lot different, to be honest with you. It's on a different type of hook. It's on a real deal salmon fly hook. And the fly is about the same size. Man, the fly's a little bit bigger and the hook's a lot bigger. That's kind of how it is. In fact, I got this. The one I tied from the last video is right here. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good size comparison. The hook I'm using is this heavy single, number 4. It's partridge. And the thread I'm using is 6/0 tan. And 6/0 tan. And I have it waxed. So we're just going to tie on right here. And we're gonna make that body go right to about, see this has a bend in it, see that? So it's a bent eye. We're gonna right about to there somewhere, yeah. Let's put the tail in now. The tail is just natural brown. And it's not a very long tail. It just barely passed the hook bend. Just barely past the hook bend. Okay, from here I'm going to put on 2 things, a wire and a wrap. I was originally going to use this right here, this flat body glass, but I have a feeling this is too heavy. I don't know. I kind of wish I had something in between this, which is what I'm going to use, and that flat body glass. This is just a clear Mylar number 14. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not wrapping the wire on top of the clear. I'm actually going to wrap it below the clear. Why? Because I'm not using it to protect it. I'm actually just using it as an accent. So that means we need to put the clear on first, and we're going to put the clear on so that it's the full length, just with 1 turn. The wire I'm going to use is this black extra small. Now, this is another thing that's, you would normally use a small or even a medium on a hook like this, right? But I'm not using it as a way to protect it. I'm using it as a way to accent. I just want a little line of black. Could probably just do this with some black thread too. Okay, so these 2 are in, and now we're just going to create the body that I want, which is essentially a very big carrot-shaped body. That's why I'm using the 6/0, just so it's easier to build it up. I think that's okay. I think that's the right size. Now we're just going to take this wire and we're going to try and create not an even spread, but a spread that just gets bigger as the body gets bigger. take my time here, make sure it's right. This is going to be built up as well, so it's not that big of a deal if you do a lot of turns here. Now let's see if we can get this looking right. I'm just going to hit this with my nail to try and smooth it and take out a little bit of the shine. There we go. Alright, so let's build this part up now with the 6/0. And then we'll go switch to black thread. Okay, Peacock. I think the thorax is, from what I can see in the picture, I believe it's Peacock, and then Peacock sword as a wing, and the back to the natural brown or red, whatever you want to call it, throat. That's how I think this is done. So we want a few good ones here. I'm taking them from the top. If you didn't watch that video, the last one, I talk about how on a peacock stem like this is where the eye would be. The bottom is where you would want to tie in, say, a bud, because the herl is really only on one side down here. It's on the bottom side, but a very little bit. But as you get to the top, it's on both sides and it's heavy. So when you do a thorax, you want to tie it on using the ones from the top near the eye, because that's the heaviest. Now I'm using 3. I'm going to put it on with the full length of the thorax area. And let's take this. You got to make sure that this is built up really good, because it's very prominent in the fly. Okay, I think that's looking good. Now I think it's sword, peacock sword. So essentially, this is peacock sword. See that? Usually you get them with a left and a right, and that's how I'm going to put it on too, is left and right. So we got the left and the right here. Now I think I'm going to use maybe three or four. Now let's make sure this top is pushed down pretty good. Just the top, because when you get this on here, you want it to lay. There's just one that's really, and 2 actually. I'm going to pull these 2 off. Yeah, I like that better. That's perfect. And I'm also going to clip this to the right length, and then we're gonna tie it in. Just crease them a little bit. That's tied in. Let's do the throat, and then we're good. I got a pretty good wing on there, so I'm going to use a decent amount of throat. The throat is the natural brown as well. I think that's okay. Yeah, that works. And let's do wood finish right now. Okay, I think it's all right. So this is the Peastone. In the plate, it was Ted Niemeyer. Ted Niemeyer is the one who tied it. And I assume he came out with it too. Peastone, I guess it's stonefly. I'm guessing. And maybe P because it's green up here. I don't know. Who knows where I came up with that name. But I think it's a cool little fly. I like that it's like a small fly on a big hook. That's nice. It's different, it's interesting. I mean, it's not different when you think about salmon flies because they tied a lot of low water flies. You'll see them tied a small fly on a very big hook. So this is kind of like that, I guess. Some controversy actually about nymphing for salmon. A lot of people think it makes no sense. I don't know. I mean, not that I've fished for salmon before because I haven't, but I mean, I've been steelhead fishing, but I never specifically went out there for salmon. But I mean, a big nymph versus a small streamer, kind of like the same thing in my eyes. You could still fish it on a swing. I would assume that if you get in front of them, you know, nice and fast, they might snap at it just to, because they're surprised or they're whatever. So I don't see it being much of a difference, but a lot of people say nymphing doesn't make much sense for salmon. Whatever, I guess. But the fly is cool, that's for sure. All right, Peastone. Thanks, everyone.